Heather, I like how I said ready as we're about to record when you've been like ready. for- oh, we're getting close to Gemini because I normally can't shut the fuck up, but especially this week, today. Oh, it is good to be back, Heather. It is good
It
to be back,
is.
folks.
It is.
Our last Taurus episode of the season. How are we
Last
feeling?
Taurus. Yeah. I'm feeling stabilized and strong compared to fucking Aries season. I gotta say. Um,
I would have to agree.
yeah.
Not me, not you. Be like, yeah, you're doing great compared to.
I am. I am. But also, yeah, I think, the Gemini is quickly coming upon us, and I do feel like cunty, may I say. Or I do feel a
Hmm.
little bit like I feel that energy already. And Jupiter is moving into Gemini May 26th, and it
Right.
spends about 2 years in a sign. And it's like, more of a I guess the outer planets are Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, but Jupiter is like the in between. It's still a slow
Hmm.
moving planet. It's I think they call it, like, I've heard it be called a social planet. Like Saturn and Jupiter are the two that are like, I don't know, the in betweens. But anyway,
Right.
so spends 2 years in a sign, about to enter Gemini. So we are going to, as a collective, experience expansion with Gemini energies. And I'm already seeing that in the media, I feel like. I mean, I know that I'm a huge Charlie XCX fan, and I'm
Hmm.
sure that all of our listeners aren't as obsessed with her as I am. But like the fact that I was just watching Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, who's a Gemini, and she was being interviewed, and she just released this like cunty song, and then she was like, yeah, my new album that's dropping during Gemini season while Jupiter's in Gemini. Like she has an astrologer on her PR team. She's like, my new album is just very like gossipy, bitchy, like bad bitch, like hot girl, but like gossipy, but like fun. I'm like, that is so Gemini.
I
No one needed
love,
that spiel.
I know we did. Yes. Yes, we did. And two, I love your impression of Charlie XCX. It's because it's so spot on. And she is so fucking Gemini. I just love her.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel that in my bones.
Hmm.
And I know she's not a Gemini, but she was in the Charlie XCX music video. But I was telling Heather listeners before we started recording the podcast that I'm listening to or I'm reading Julia Fox's Down the Drain, her autobiography Down the Drain.
Yeah.
And it's so like I already was a fan and like loved her. I think a lot of people's first instinct is like she's not a role model. Let me tell you, this book is the Bible for me. It
Yeah.
she I like just love her. I think she's the philosopher of our generation. Like, and she's Aquarius, and her Aquarius really shows. And I think that's what really surprises people because so many people can't get past the surface of things, and like so many people cannot get past her vocal fry and how she sounds. Me as a fan, love her voice, love the sound of it, could
Yeah.
soak it up. Listen, I'm gonna listen to her audiobook after I'm done reading it.
Yes.
That's how much I just love this book, and it speaks to me. And I'm living in New York City right now, and a
Can't
lot
wait.
of it has New York City shit to it. And I just she is so smart and so like just she's so Aquarius. Anyways, but I love that we're seeing her. She is the it girl. Like I love that Charlie's whole song is called like I'm so Julia. And then
Yeah.
it's like Julia's in it.
Yeah.
That whole music video is so fun. It's so
Oh, it
cunty
is
and it's so like
so
it's so
good.
brats.
I'm so happy that she is like embracing just like I'm a hot girl, tongue in cheek, but like
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. The
And
the
she
whole
is.
like so she also I think was inspired by the movie Pearl, and this idea of being like so how did you say it? Like so like cunty it's hot, or so like disturbingly hot, or like she has all
Mm.
these women in her music video who are like scary hot, like what's her
Right.
name, fucking Lisa Rinna's daughter, and Julia Fox. And I know that she wanted
Oh, and then there's Chloe, the like from Euphoria. Isn't her name Chloe? She's in like
Oh,
the most
is
recent season
she?
of Euphoria.
Oh,
Where she
is
like
she in it? I
she
have to
like
watch
blew
it
up.
again.
Yeah.
That would
Everyone
make
in there is
sense. That
like
would
an
make
iconic
sense.
little
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, right? A little
They're all
bitch.
inspirational. They're
Yeah.
all role models, if you
Yeah.
ask me. No, I'm feeling that energy. I really am feeling, and I don't even think I want to be so clear because we were talking about this too. There's something about mean girl energy that's like a turn off. And then there's something about like Julia and Charlie, for example, I feel like um are the girls in high school that see you getting picked on or made fun of, and then it's like, what the fuck's your problem to the bully, right? Like the
Right.
bullying the bullies, and like
Well,
even reading Julia's
they're all
book, like
outsiders. It's not like they've ever
right,
been like the mainstream it girl. Like
right,
they're constantly bullied by the mainstream. Anyway,
right. Or when right, it's either they're beloved.
misunderstood.
Right. They're hated for being hot or loved for being hot. And then they're hated for being the it girl or loved for being the it girl. And then it creates, it's right. And even the other day, Julia Fox was, for example, not to make it all about her and Charlie, but again, this overall vibe that I feel
Well,
like
it feels like the astrological energy
this
is
is the
moving into
energy.
this, yeah, this place.
Yes.
It's very Aquarius. Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
continue.
Should we go ahead and just say our first Gemini episode is going to be Charlie XCX? No, we haven't discussed yet, but come on.
Oh,
Anyways, but yeah, like even
she's a Leo, but
oh my God, that's right. I forget
yeah,
that she's. Why do I think she's
but she's
Leo?
serving
She has
cunt.
Gemini. Does she have Gemini
I don't think so.
undertones?
She's Virgo moon, which is like mercurial, and she has a strong Aquarius emphasis, but
Why do
she's
I think
like
she was
Leo
Gemini?
bad bitch with
Yeah.
Cancer rising,
Oh,
I
that's so
think.
funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm like, well, I digress.
Yeah.
Go ahead and cut this out.
No, 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 no.
Anyways, but yeah, just like this no fucks given of like, Julia Fox gets so much shit from men in a way that is just so like she's been around them a long time. She's seen all different kinds, how they treat her for being such a pretty woman, how her intelligence was never like respected. So it's like, we can't fathom that a girl can be this hot, the it girl, and smart, right? Like, I just love what she fucking represents.
It's
She's
very
really
Paris
like,
Hilton too. It's
yes, also Aquarius, right?
yeah.
I'm like,
Uh-huh. No, it
that one
is.
I got,
Yeah,
that one I
Aquarius
got.
Leo. It is.
Oh,
It's
damn,
such
that
a
actually, that music video is just missing Paris. Emma
right.
Chamberlain's in it. She's the Gemini I'm thinking of. So sorry. We will
Uh
have to be covering her soon.
yeah,
But
let's do that.
because that one also, they
There's
just
someone
like
else in it that I'm trying to think
the
of.
Twitter girl, can't think of her name, Rachel.
And the girl from Shiva Baby and Bottoms
That
and
girl, that's what I'm thinking of. She
I
blew up
know.
on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
And
that.
then now is like
Yeah.
in the movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it just is like, if I think also a lot of what our generation is experiencing right now, for example, on a bigger scale, when we say like it's just kind of a no fucks given time and letting the like we don't give a shit vibes, like, everything that is wrong right now with society and that is just going on, which there's always a lot of bullshit, but it really feels like we're teetering towards a breaking point. Not to scare anyone, but it does feel like really no much there's really we can't really go much farther on this sort of trajectory we're at as a society without there being some major casualties. And I'm not or without there just being some major uprooted changes. We're running out of road.
Mm-hmm.
To keep it
Yeah,
vague and
I think
annoying,
so.
but I more just do mean this. There's just so many things I think I'm talking about with this. And again, we're in this age of Aquarius where our generation is so fucking connected. We are so reading the same book and we're like on the same page. And we're also connected that way with Gen Z. And I think it's a really beautiful thing that we were just seeing, like, the millennial and Gen Z little sort of like battle a little bit. And it was like Gen Zs and millennials making fun of each other a little bit. Watching so many bigger issues happen and like unfold since 2020, when that like whole trend and was really getting kind of like us competing with generations, which again, we're in a time where we're really talking about generations. And I don't think, when our parents were growing up that they even paid attention really to the
Yeah.
generations, of course. but they also, there's a new like sort of discussion about how generations marry each other, like the boomers and the Gen Xers, sort of like as generations, not like literally marrying each other, but in terms of society
Like
and bigger
paired.
issues.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yes.
That makes
And
sense.
there's like a feminine and masculine energy that also kind of rotates out of each generation. Millennials have a like more masculine energy, like literally based on, you know, a lot of just sort of events in our
And
lives,
I
what we
think
went through.
Scorpio's a masculine sign, and we're the
Mm-hmm.
Pluto and Scorpio generation. Okay, keep
Mm-hmm.
going.
And then do you know Gen Z's generation?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius generation. So it's just next.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So that apparently they're saying Gen Z has a more masculine energy or excuse me, feminine
Feminine.
energy to it. And though we are going to pair up, which we already see happening now.
Oh yeah.
Um, and because yeah, it's just kind of a beautiful thing. And everyone's always online like, I fucking love Gen Z. You know, the whole like, we were still raised on this idea of like customers always right. Gen Z is now managing businesses.
I
They are not on they are the managers. They are the
don't.
bosses. The customer is not always right. I fucking like, I feel like Gen Z freed the limiting part of being a millennial.
And
There's a
it's
lot of
so, yeah,
freeing and
it's
no
so
fucks given.
Aquarius too, like that they're kind of like coming into a place where they have rank in society, like the age that they are now, they like are the people like getting jobs and having the ability to have power while Pluto's entering Aquarius. And I was listening to this Diary of a CEO episode where this comedian, I don't even remember the comedian's name, but he was like talking about Gen Z and how like what a badass generation to literally like kind of realize that like work and work culture is a scam. Like I think that they are kind of like he was very like, "Oh, sorry, like you think I'm not doing a good job at my job, like I have depression and like it's not
Yeah.
that like or like I, you know."
Yeah.
But like
No.
no, seriously, like sorry, I'm not articulating myself well, but
No,
you know what I mean.
I think you are. I think you are. And that's what I'm saying too. Like again, there are so many fucked up weird issues. Not even weird, just so many fucked up societal problems right now. The list is so long, but this I like again, I think what's so freeing about Gen Z too, them being from the generation, you know, when we think about or like when I think about this, Heather, in terms of age of Aquarius, like the fact that we're now entering the age of Aquarius, right? You and me growing up, correct me if I'm wrong. We're both 94 babies. I assume that you grew up with dial up internet. Like
Yeah.
you were, or
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
you have memories of like,
Yeah.
right. And
I
it
love
being
that
like, this
noise.
is the future. This the fucking mini TV is the that anyway. But like, yeah, like what was that? I guess it was like reaching to. Never mind. I can't do this right now. But we saw the birth of social media, for example, too, in our timeline. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember 9/11 when it happened. Like, obviously, we were in Florida, but like, I have vivid memories of that day. I don't like really remember what I was wearing. I do remember like the weather. It was a beautiful sunny day in Florida. I remember all the kids getting taken out of class early. Like Gen Z, the technical line for where that starts, they don't have memories of that. I think millennials are truly the last generation in a lot of ways. That's okay. So I want to be clear. To me, that's the cutoff with Gen Z and millennials. I don't really care about the years.
Yeah.
To me, if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
remember 9/11, you're really the last generation who can. And that's
Yeah.
millennials. And so we still grew up in like in our society specifically, still grew up with really trusting a lot of things and allowing fear, I think, to really embrace us because that's what the adults, the older generations at the time were doing too. The energy was very scared energy. It was very, we got to get all of
Yeah.
our ducks in a row and we've got to
Yeah.
do it overnight and we got to do it now. And like,
Yeah.
and this sort of, you know, and it was a very sad, 9/11 was very sad. It was a very, you know, big hit for the country. Obviously the biggest terrorist attack we've ever had. But Gen Z, not saying that because they don't have that memory, they've always grown up in the fear part, I think. Like there isn't, and we could barely remember a time before 9/11, but you talk to older millennials who were in high school when 9/11 happened, they say there were two different Americas, for example.
Yeah.
Like there was a before and an after. And
Yeah.
I kind of don't really remember that much of a before because we were so young. And Gen Z certainly doesn't. They only know after. And this generation has been lied to since they've been old enough to learn what lying is. Like,
Yeah.
you're talking to a generation, right, that you didn't protect with gun laws, you didn't protect with school shootings. Not trying to get on a whole tangent, but I'm just sort of like, what other choice does like Gen Z really have? Like, literally,
Mhm.
what are their other options? They can't trust, like, they've been lied to for so long and can't trust the government. And millennials, I think, too, are like the last generation who did. But there is like this freedom of being like, and it's, but you know, and again, this is such a very vague thing I'm doing and talking about. But the energy right now, I'm just saying, this Aquarius, like, united front, this like there is nothing left to lose hopelessness has somehow morphed into hopefulness
Yeah.
and for the future. And I
Yeah.
think in a lot of ways, like, becoming a community, becoming like caring about fucking other humans for a change, letting capitalism starve itself in a lot of ways, like, I do think that's weirdly so hopeful. Like, we don't have the luxury, our generations don't necessarily, with how everything is going on so many levels, we don't have the really luxury to plan for a future because we don't really know what that future looks like. We have to
Yeah.
morph our future, we have to
Yeah.
mold it ourselves.
Mhm. Mhm.
That is so upsetting and beautiful at the same time. That is so astrology,
Yeah, it's very I'm
the ebbs
like
and flows. Sorry,
yeah.
Heather, I so tangented so long to
Yeah,
get to a
no.
fucking point.
No,
Go on,
no, no. I
please.
also think that our generation is very has a very transitional energy to it. And that is so like Pluto and Scorpio too. Like being like the first generation to have internet, like seeing the before and the after,
Mm-hmm.
and like just the process of like deeply transforming something is
Mm-hmm.
so a part of our core.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, no, everything you're saying I think makes perfect sense astrologically.
Never
And
trying to get it all
there's
too political, of
no, I
course,
know,
but
but no,
the
but it
energy is so raw.
and there is like with Aquarius themes such a yeah, Aquarius deals so much with the fucking like weight on your shoulders being the sign right before Pisces of feeling that like collective weight of like but we could do this all differently. Like, is
Mm-hmm.
everyone awake? Like, Aquarius is so
Mm-hmm.
that, and there's such a isolated feeling in that. But then the hope comes when you're like, but wait, we actually have the power to innovate
Mm-hmm.
and like be the ones who bring actual progress and do things
Mm-hmm.
differently. Like, yeah. So it's only I'm really excited for the next 20 years. I'm not excited for Pluto to hit all of my Aquarius planets, but no, even that I
When
shouldn't
is
even say
that?
that. That's more
Oh,
when I'm 40. I'm going to go
okay.
through a deep transformation. That's probably when I'll write my memoir.
Yes. Down the Drain by Heather
Yeah.
Cunningham. Up
No,
the Drain.
I'll write it before then, honestly. It truly has been
Yeah.
inspiring.
Okay, same. Let's bow here. No, that's amazing. Yeah, I really tangented. But I am just like, the energy right now just feels so charged up. There is such a, I think right now, again, we're at the end of this Taurus, earthy, like, really digging our fucking right. We just came out of this Aries passionate, like, desires, change. This is what we need to do going forward. Now we're in wrapping up that Taurus of like, okay, are we grounded? Are we all seeing the vision? Do we have our plan
Yeah.
like written out? We have the blueprint. Have we dug our heels in? Are we fucking focused and
Yeah.
here in the now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's
And
fucking
planting seeds also.
planting seeds, multiple, getting the garden trimmed and proper.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then we're going to go into that Gemini of like, here are the big ideas. Here's how we connect and communicate to get this shit done.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Here's the
finding
big
your
picture.
people,
Mm-hmm.
make it happen.
Community, linking up. And then we're into fucking Leo of like, now let's fucking do it. Let's fucking go.
Well, there's Cancer first.
I mean, Cancer.
First, we have to integrate and feel, and then it's
That Cancer,
like,
okay, let's shed everything that's not.
yeah.
Let's get our eyes back on the prizes. Let's get our crab claws nice and sharp. And then let's fucking go into
Let's
Leo.
fucking go.
Crabs charge.
Yeah.
Anyways, crabs assemble. All right. But yeah, I just this is a very, I know I keep saying this all the time that it's a charged up time, but it does feel like a beautiful no fucks given threshold. And again, I want to be clear that like not mean girl energy, but like bullying the bullies energy, eating the
Yeah.
rich energy,
Yeah. Well, it pisses me off.
fucking the
Like,
patriarchy energy.
yeah, no, it really does piss me off. Like, I feel like I've heard so many people, and whatever, everyone's allowed to have their own opinions, but I do feel like I've heard, I mean, without naming names, I'm going to say there's one person specifically that I talked to about Julia Fox like a while, like a month ago, and he was like, uh,
He,
yeah,
keyword he.
he was like, "Oh, I don't really like her." I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." Then like a few weeks later was like, "Oh, you mentioned Julia Fox before. My wife's now reading her memoir. Like, yeah, actually she's had a crazy life, like blah blah blah." I'm like, people just love to fucking make assumptions, and that is so fucking Aquarius. And like all these like her and Paris Hilton and all like I there's something so, yeah, I feel like this like cunty energy is
I
almost like a
can't well,
response to like
mhm.
judging books by the cover. It's so
It's
fucking
20
Beauty and
fucking
the Beast.
24.
It's so fucking, are we kidding? Like you ah. And I feel like these people who receive this judgment honestly have like way more depth and shit going on than the people
Judging
projecting,
them. Mhm.
yeah, projecting their own boring ass. Now I'm
No, no. I'm like snaps. I'm snapping away,
I need
Heather.
to
I'm
calm
like,
down.
I'm eating popcorn,
But
but I don't want
yeah,
to crunch
like
into the
it's so,
mic.
but I think Age of Aquarius and Jupiter
Mhm.
entering Gemini is coming at the perfect time. I think it's very like,
Of like,
fuck all
grow
that.
up, grow
Yeah.
up. Ew. Yeah. I can't believe in the age of 2024, we're still like, is that a book? Let me judge that cover. Like, have people not learned enough by now? When has that ever really, when have you been so smart? And I'm saying this as a Pisces with like intuition. I still don't think there's any, like, that's why I think I'm so open, because it's rare that my assumption of someone or something has ever been 100% correct or true. Haven't we learned from mistakes? Like, I just, yeah. And that's funny that you say that, because I totally get that. And like, also, again, too, like, I find men can sometimes be the judgiest creeps about women, and probably without even thinking about it. But like, we're just in like a fucking feminine energy time. Is that Aquarius? Is Aquarius feminine?
I
Sorry, other, but on this,
actually don't think so. But we just had the Venus retro. I mean, it's,
there's feminine energy in the air.
well, Capricorn is the patriarchy. So
Right.
coming out of Capricorn is a way more, you know, we're gonna level
Just,
the playing field.
yes.
And Aquarius has like a queer kind of energy. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
that.
A fluid. It's got
Yeah.
fluidness. What about Pisces?
I mean,
Also,
Pisces is the fluid. Pisces like
Pisces
is
is like,
Pisces
what's
is like, what's
gender?
humanity? We're all spirit. Like what?
Literally. And again, so I think sometimes I forget this as a Pisces myself. I get so, this is the shit that makes me cunty, is when someone's mean about something. I realize, like, that's where I get cunty of like, as a human being, have you never fucked up? Have you never
Yeah, are you,
maybe been wrong before? Like, level up here. We're humans. And like,
I know.
I think that is also where I just get so like, I have no room for people being super judgmental. Like, I don't have
Pisces is
tolerance for it.
so good at being like, yeah, but I am like, it's the sign of spirit and of like all the signs combined. So it's the first one to be like, yeah, that could have been me. Like you can literally like insert
Right.
yourself in any like
Yeah. I
mistake
could,
or failure
right.
and be like, I could see myself, like, you know, it,
When people are like, put yourself in someone's shoes, I'm like, that's all I'm doing.
yeah, literally Pisces like is
Honestly, I
that.
just can't put myself in mine. It's like the
Right.
least amount of shoes I'm in, because I'm in so many others involving
Yes.
myself.
Yes. Yes.
Anyways, but yes, I just I'm here for this time. I'm here for the cuntiness, the age of the brat, age of Aquarius, grounding our fucking heels into this Taurus, like the last bit of Taurus. We just had that refreshing new moon start. Like, don't forget, you guys, this is literally the beginning of the astrological calendar. We're only in February,
Yeah.
technically. And I'm just ready for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And with that, Heather, shall we move on to our last and final Taurus?
Yes.
I do love this next little cutie patootie Taurus. The one, the only Heather. Really came out of left field if you're kind of our age, I think, and not up to date with Disney, but is so fucking mainstream right now and really taking over the popular realm. Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, she did come out of nowhere, and I was just watching this video of someone like uh journeying her path as a, her rise to fame. And they said in the video, like, she's had a slow rise. And I'm like, wow, that is so Taurus. It is so
Mm-hmm.
Taurus to like, Adele is a weird wild card being a Taurus who like was
Mm.
so big
Got
at
famous
21.
later. Or
But
yeah, oh,
like,
that's true. It was 21.
and I guess Sabrina Carpenter is like only 23, but I can see how, she's been, I guess, posting music on YouTube since she was 10. And
Mm-hmm.
it does feel like she's not like huge all of a sudden, but I can see a slow build, which is
Mm-hmm.
very Taurus. And Jupiter and Uranus transiting Taurus right now, it makes sense that she's having breakthroughs right at this moment.
Right. That's and in Taurus fashion, she's gorgeous. Like
Yeah,
so fucking
I
pretty.
know. Her makeup,
Her
yeah.
and the like the Bardot bangs. God,
Hmm.
she wears
Hmm.
them. Her look is so obviously pop stars, singers, everyone has like a branding to them. And Sabrina might have eras just like Taylor did, obviously, where we look back and that's like not completely not her look anymore, just like a lot of them. They all have their transitions, but like right now her little look is just so it all just feels very Taurus. Like not
Yeah,
like, and I don't mean that in a boring way, but like very like
classic.
classic, clean cut, but also
Hmm.
like they're these skimpy little cutie baby doll outfits.
Yeah.
And but they're like she's so pretty. I don't know how to explain it. It is. It's like still classy somehow with like
Yeah.
her ass is hanging out. And I'm like, that's the classiest bitch I've ever
Right,
seen.
right.
There's just something so regal, so Marilyn about her. And she like but also she's so charismatic. She's very fun to watch on stage. She really like I don't know, while still being in these little costumes, she's so relatable, I think, too, and still knows how to like connect with the crowd while being in
Yeah.
these little get-ups. And like that's always a really interesting and fun balance to witness. And I feel like in celebrity world, or just not even celebrity world, but career longevity, like yes, putting on a show, but also yes, connecting personally to the crowd,
Yeah.
especially while you're in a little getup that's like very on your brand, a little costume, like
Yeah.
she's good at that. She's really good at that. I see her career going
Yeah.
far.
I was doing a little bit of research before this, and I was struck by the performance quality,
Mm-hmm.
and how she dances and how she's very confident on stage. And I was thinking like there's got to be, not that Taurus can't be that way, but I was just thinking like there's got to be something else giving that
Right.
like sense of, yeah, wanting to connect with the audience in that way and really like put on a show and like show your ass, and and
Mm-hmm.
Pisces moon and Pisces rising does make sense for that.
I'm like very vulnerable of her.
Yeah. Oh, and square Pluto in the ninth, almost conjunct midheaven. But yeah, yeah, there's some other, but she does have a lot of planets in Taurus. But also, I think having such a strong aesthetic in general is so Taurus, to like
Mm-hmm.
understand the branding, make it really pretty, make that a huge part of like who you are as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, I can't like her hair. She's just so Barbie. She's like
Yeah.
a living, breathing, real Barbie. Like she really that Taurus, and we talked about this before. Taurans are usually beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah. No, Venus ruled, just
Adele, a Taurus, also fucking beautiful.
gorgeous.
Like,
Yep.
my
Yep.
God,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many beautiful Taurans that we've covered. But yeah, I just like she's got her look down and she's got her brand down. But I will agree, Heather, it does feel like if you're not maybe up to date with like the Disney world, I kind of learned who Sabrina was during the Olivia drama. And again, this is also, I know we talked so much about this in the intro, but this also tells me we're in just like a new generation and a new time because I don't think like I feel like a lot of our generation would have grown up hating Sabrina because there was still a lot of like, she's really pretty and smart and funny and like does this and is like relatable. Therefore, I hate her. And like,
Right.
you know, we're not in that world, so to speak, anymore. There's still a lot of male toxic or like the toxic, the patriarchy sprinkled in,
Yeah.
of course, don't get me wrong. But like, you know, a lot of more of our generation still grew up competing a little bit with other women. So it's a really beautiful thing to witness and watch like young girls really connect with her. And again, her showing this balance there of like, you can wear a little like costume that a lot of people, when they look at, again, on first judgment, are going to probably judge and like not think you're a serious artist, but like sprinkling in her songs that she has written and the way she connects with the crowd with that, like, I don't know how to explain. I don't think I'm articulating myself as well as I want to be, but there is just something so I just see the Taurus in that of like, if I have to be a little gimmicky for the longevity of a career, like that is a groundedness. There is a focus there. There is just
Mhm.
sort of like a bull charging
Well, and it is
forwardness.
quality. It's not like,
Yes.
yeah, I don't get
The
the sense
outfits
that
pull you
she's
in,
kind of just, yeah, I don't
but then
think
the
it's
music
kind
makes
of
you
like,
stay.
no offense to like Katy Perry fans, but I don't know. I don't get the sense that she's like operating under this corporate kind of just like machine where she's just trying to make bops or I don't know.
Right.
It seems like it is like
Her
curated
poetry is
and
still
quality
important.
and yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a
Her
um
connection through music to people is still important, which is so Pisces too, as we've talked about.
yeah.
Like, and then it
Yeah.
is funny because, you know, her and Olivia, I don't think ever actually beefed with each other. And neither of them really bashed the other one in songs. What they bashed was like um the boy or, you know, the media and how they were treated afterwards, so to speak. But like it is interesting that Olivia Rodrigo is a Pisces who I'm not saying put Sabrina on the map, but definitely made Sabrina get a lot of not made, but attracted a lot more of attention to Sabrina. Not all of that was positive for her. So it's really, really extra special to see that she has a number one song out currently that's so catchy and fun and good. After, you know, she did not let that moment of like the media really coming at her and always being compared to Olivia stop her from her own lane. Like, I think she just does such a great job of being in her own lane too and having her own fans. And it just doesn't feel like she's competing. They're not really competing like that. The media pins them against each other, of course. But it is in like when she like her retaliation song to a lot of people being like really rude to her after Olivia came out with driver's license, whatever all that drama was just like a all this because I loved a boy. Like all I did was like love someone. It wasn't like I thought that was so beautiful, very Pisces,
Very
very
Pisces.
Taurus as well,
Yeah,
of not
yeah.
like not just being like fuck this bitch for putting my name out there in a negative way. Like she made it about the people attacking her. She made it about the hurt she was experiencing. And that honestly made her so relatable. I
Yeah.
really think so many people were like, this is really fucked up. Like all she did was love someone and then like all that person did was get hurt by it. Like neither of them was actually trying to bash each other.
Yeah.
And I love that we're from a generation now where we pause and go, wait a minute, would we not feel the same in those shoes? Like
Right.
this is actually a very relatable, annoying thing that like
Yeah.
she's being painted as this homewrecker. She's not even with this guy anymore. And that's not what happened. And that's not
Yeah.
what Olivia said either. I just thought that was really beautiful. And then, yeah, that song is very like, damn, you really, again, it's like this world of like, there are two sides, you guys. Like, again, as we talked about earlier, it's so frustrating that we're in 2024 and people still haven't learned their lesson about judging a book by its cover. And cycles and patterns can just be so like bad habits can just be repeated if you let them. And I really
Mhm.
think a lot of the energy right now is this is age of Aquarius, baby. We're not seeing each other as enemies. We're seeing each other as like we've done for so long, or like we're seeing each other as a
Yeah.
community. I
Yeah.
don't know if that makes
Saturn
sense, but yeah.
transiting through Pisces too is very like we need to be more understanding of the cycles and the habits and
Gentle.
the yeah, come
Just gentle it on
on.
up. Oh my God. Have you never been a human before? Have you never made
Literally.
mistakes? Have you never
Literally.
like, yeah, I do think there's such a, and again, I have Pisces every fucking thing. So like, there really isn't anything that I do see black and white, unless it's genocide. Okay, we digress. But and I will not be editing that out. But I'm saying, like, if it, like, there is, I don't think there's something so to me about people who only see black and white, just
Oh my
because I'm more
God, it's
like,
my biggest pet
why
peeve.
would you only volunteer to see two colors when you could see the whole rainbow? And
Mm-hmm.
like, just
Mm-hmm.
like, live a little, be a little
Mm-hmm.
fucking easy. Like, I think you would enjoy life more. Like, let
Right.
yourself see
It's
the
more
full
fun.
spectrum.
Yeah, come on.
Everything has a spectrum, unless it's, what I just said. Anyways,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah,
and
like, go on.
Sabrina's a good example of a Taurus does tend to be a little bit rigid and black and white, and she has Sun, Saturn, and Mercury in Taurus. But then also Pisces moon and Pisces rising, and Uranus in the 12th house, which corresponds with Pisces. So there's a good balance
Mhm.
exemplified in this chart
Yeah.
of well, yeah, I'm sure that like she's probably not so black and white as a typical Taurus might be. And not all Taurans
Right.
are, but yeah, but that tends to be a more fixed, earthy sort of thing.
Seeing all the colors of the rainbow is just a little something extra they have to work on.
Yes,
It's
thank
not
you.
that they're
Thank
not
you.
capable.
Yeah, thank you. As all humans. But yeah, it's interesting. The houses in this chart, it kind of reminds me of Charlie XCX's in a way. There's a major
Mm.
second house. Um Charlie started her career very young, but feels like she's
Yeah.
always building, and it's Taurus's house. So that's interesting actually. Maybe there's like
And
a
Charlie,
slow build. Yeah,
sorry,
what
go
are you
ahead.
gonna say?
I was gonna say, and she, a lot in the way that she put herself out there, like, was her first fan. I feel like I get a lot of that from Sabrina too. Of like, there's no shame in promoting. I'm a fan of myself and my work, and I
Oh,
deserve
yeah.
to be out here and having you
Yeah.
hear it. And
And shake my ass.
they didn't let
Yeah.
each other, and they're both very like, Charlie didn't get stuck in a box, and neither has
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina. Like, just being a actor, she's
Yeah.
now, and again, she's
Yeah,
got those Pisces
values.
undertones, so like, she probably feels way more connected to an audience now than she did acting. Not that
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
she's quit acting completely, but with those
Yeah.
Pisces undertones, Pisces loves connecting via music.
Totally, totally. Yeah. It's also a chart of a good actor. But
Mm.
yeah, the second house is like about values, which resonates with what you just said, like not wanting to be put in a box and like maintaining your core values as an artist, but also security and like yeah, she's going to make money through shining. That's just like
Mm.
naturally going to happen. And like there's a big like career element too, but not in a career like 10th house like reputation, like building a strong repertoire or whatever, but like this gives her security. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, it is. She's a very fascinating artist and person. And also, yeah, you reminded me of how young she is. She was born in 99. Um, and so like, I'm very interested to see the trajectory of where she goes. Also, she's dating, I meant to tell you this before we started, but she's dating Barry. Ah shit, what's his name? Give me 1 second,
Oh,
Heather. She is dating, he was in Killing of a Sacred Deer. He was in uh the Banshees of
uh-huh.
that one. Barry, hold on. Sabrina.
Yeah, I wanted to know.
They like hard launched at the Met Gala, is why I like know
Oh.
that. Um oh, Barry uh Kagan? Kogan? I'm fucking up. This guy. Let me show you, Heather. I don't know if you have you seen Killing of a Sacred Deer?
No, I haven't.
This is them at the Met Gala. I don't know if you
Who
recognize
is
him,
that?
but he's also in like the Banshees of Inner Sheeran. Is
I'm
that the
gonna
name?
look it up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This also might
No.
not be the best, but I more mean he is. I think he's a Cancer. Um, anyways, they just kind of hard launched, and that's I think like her first, maybe she also dated Shawn Mendes.
Oh, did she?
Yes, and then he got back with Camilla like right after, like, yeah, they had like kind of a thing. I think she was
They're
kind of
so
a
messy.
rebound.
I'm not a fan of Camilla. Sorry.
They're a little, they just need to figure their shit out, not publicly, I think. Like,
Yeah.
why am I felt like when I was watching them at Coachella, I was just like, why am I seeing this and understanding kind of exactly what's happening in a way that I want to be more removed
Both
from my
have a lot of
celebrities.
Pisces energy, actually.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
Mess away, mess away. But yeah, she just like, I think she's in a very new, like, she's so mainstream right now. She opened for the entirety of the, like, for a lot of the Eras tour, so she got extra blown up. These just past few years, she's gotten only more and more sort of attention. She's continued to put out great hits. Espresso, her current hit, is like #1 charting right now. It's beating Fortnite by Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department. Technically, that's #2. Huge. Taylor's gonna knock her off that tour real quick. Oh, I guess
Yeah.
she's technically not on it anymore. Taylor's team's probably gonna come for something real. All right, let me relax. Let me relax. But and now she's dating like Barry. They had this hard launch at the Met Gala. She just celebrated her birthday and all on her social. Man, do I know more about her than I thought? All of her like socials, from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but when
uh
Kate Hudson is wearing like the
I
yellow.
just saw that as I was Googling her boyfriend. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kate,
I know
even on the
exactly what you're
cover
talking
of
about.
the movie, she's wearing like this silky, like
Right.
yellow, gorgeous dress with like like a yellow diamond stone.
Yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
kind of imitated that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just feel like she's really having a moment,
Yeah.
and it's just really exciting to witness and watch. Like, we're just really, I feel like a lot of her shit is aligning. Maybe
I
that's just what it
feel
looks like
like,
from the outside, but
well,
she's exuding an energy that's like, my shit is in alignment. Like, I'm
it
having
makes
a good time.
sense. It makes sense because yeah, she has Sun, Saturn, um, part of Fortune too, which I don't really totally get into with astrology, but she has a
Mm,
stack up in Taurus, and Uranus and Jupiter have been bringing blessings and
mm.
like sudden breakthroughs through Taurus, and her Venus is at the very start of Cancer in the 4th house. Ooh, maybe she's gonna get pregnant in 2 years, or like something's gonna happen.
Oh my
Like,
God, Heather, we should start guessing the future of these celebs so we can
yeah,
circle
well,
back.
let's circle back in 2 years to see what's going on with Sabrina when Jupiter hits the Venus.
Cool.
Because that'll probably be something expanding either like romantically or with like maybe she'll move into, I don't know, something with like home or romance or babies. I
Mm,
predict.
interesting.
Yeah,
With Barry,
maybe.
maybe.
Maybe I should pull up his
Uh,
chart.
yeah, honestly, I'm kind of like, this would be huge. There was just a tangent for a moment, still on this subject, but there was just an astrologer on TikTok that blew up because I forget what actor it was. Oh, that's gonna kill me. Maybe it wasn't an actor, but some celebrity. She just basically told the future extremely accurately based on their chart and like what was to maybe like come.
This
Um,
new wave of astrologers is really good at it, and I'm
yeah,
studying it, and I'm feeling like I'm getting better at it
you're
myself.
gonna. I
Like
was like,
the
Heather, you should make a video on this, or
yeah,
just, yeah, a little
I want
vlog, a
to
diary of
master it
sorts.
better.
Yeah,
It's because like astrology's been so focused on like the psychology and just understanding like
right.
personality astrology, and
But
now
now
there's
it's
like
more
a
on the
new wave of like
patterns.
predictive and pattern and
Mhm.
collective, and they call it like electional astrology. So yeah, I'm
I
getting better
might
at
have
it, but
I might have sent you this TikTok. If I didn't, I'm going to send it to you after we're done recording. But this bitch was spot fucking on. And her video was dated and everything. And it had been like a year previous. Maybe it was just like kind of the state of the society, the world, kind
mm,
of. No, I think it might have been someone specific, but it was just like, again, patterns, right? We can look at where what the stars, the planets, where everything was 1,000 years ago. We can see it coming up, in the a
yeah.
1,000 years from now, technically. So that is really
That's
interesting.
That's why it's so, I think, useful also for astrology to do like to study celebrities, because in no other way do we have access to someone's life
Right.
and their patterns
Right.
in such an obvious like way that we can perceive and study than with celebrities or like, yeah.
Oh my God, Heather. You're so right.
No, that's why I love reality TV too, is like I can look up these people and like know, oh, they're in their Saturn return. Like that's what I'm watching right now versus like scripted television. You don't have that.
Oh, I am so sorry. You just reminded me though, Julia Fox, an Aquarius,
Mhm.
obsessed with reality television. That's like, she says, like the only television she watches.
Oh
And I
my
meant
God,
to
that's
tell you
so
that because you're
amazing.
both Aquarians and you both love reality TV
Oh my
because you
God,
both love
that's,
what's fucking real.
you
You love,
know,
you just
people
want the
think that it's
authenticity.
superficial, but I think it's actually the more authentic thing. I will
Mhm.
die on this. What's the phrase? I will die on this cross.
Hill,
This, yeah, this hill.
Hill. Yeah. No. And she always said that she like, it's funny because she dated Kanye and people,
Right.
she was on Andy Cohen, which you should watch that episode of
I
her
did.
on.
I
Oh,
did.
okay.
That's like how I first came to know her. Yeah.
Yes. And where he's like, "Are you not looking at me?" And she's like, "I'm so sorry. You have a mirror up and I could see my reflection and I look amazing." Again, like just authentically, like, here's what it
And
is. I'm
people
not
think
looking at
she's
you
an
because I
idiot because
can't
she
stop
says
looking at
stuff
myself.
like that. Like,
Yeah.
no,
No,
actually,
that is
she's
such
with it.
she's so self-aware.
Yeah.
And sorry, not to get off of
Yeah.
Sabrina,
Anyway.
but like who also has self-awareness qualities. But yeah, she does. She has a whole thing with Andy Cohen and he asked her about like Kim Kardashian and he's like, "Have you guys like talked since?" And she's like, "We've been in the same room." But it was, and then he was like, "And nothing, you guys stayed away from each other." She's like, "Well, let me be clear. It was a really big room. We were on completely opposite sides. I don't think either one of us." She's like, "But I am a fan of hers. I've been a fan of hers. Like when everyone was giving her shit back in the day, like I defended her. I am interested to see like what." Honestly, I think Julia would be like, "Listen, I probably would have done the same thing for my man. Try to take down Taylor Swift's career if I was protective of my man." Like that's just it though. Like, love her or hate her, she's so authentic. Anyways,
Yeah.
and this is we're in Aquarius. Every single, I think, energy and sign that we're going in, like being in Taurus right now, discussing Sabrina and watching all these celebs in the middle of Aquarius energy as well. Everything just feels so leveled up and connected more. And that's just it. I think like I just it's a wild and crazy time, but it just feels so there's a freedom to it. There's just such a freeing energy
Hmm.
to so much restrictedness I think we've been experiencing.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is our last Taurus episode. Sabrina's our last Taurus that we're covering, but this energy, this time is it's that espresso, if I may. It's just like we're drinking it in. Like everyone just fucking take a breath,
Hmm.
drink in the presence, the now,
Hmm. Get your
unclench the
latte.
the ass cheeks. Like maybe just like be a little warmer, be a little more open, connect more to your fellow fucking humans, then
Hmm.
judge them and
Yeah.
feel like you're better than or disconnected than like I do think Taurus is such a time of like, okay, get real, focus. We're humans.
Hmm.
Regroup,
Hmm. Ground in.
ground in, focus, and
Hmm.
like let's move forward. Let's be a
Yeah.
team. Yeah. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
is it's a weird but kind of awesome time. It's an
Awesome.
ugly but beautiful time.
And like I'll reference Channy Nicholas again because that shit gave me chills. Or she was like, I think there's two chapters to this year, pre May
Mm,
26th and post May 26th. So
wow.
like when Jupiter enters Gemini on the 26th, I also predict that reality TV is going to become even bigger as Jupiter goes through Gemini. I'll say that. But
Well, and that you wouldn't be off right now. Like the movie
it's bigger
business is
than it's ever been.
still, well, there's, with the writer's strike, everything
Yeah.
since the strike has still not all been figured out fully. And that world and business has been so slow for actors, production,
Mhm.
like all sides of it. And again, this is always what happens when like the last time we had a writer's strike, reality TV got really big. And I think like we're in a place where we're all connecting anyway to what's sort of a little more authentic and real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just, which I know that, okay, we can critique reality television all day, for example, but in terms of like, at this point, we still know there's a lot of like quote unquote scriptedness to it, or like more outlines to reality television than I think we were aware of when it first came out. It's still one of
But
the
when
most popular things on television. Like
but when
clearly
they break
people,
up or on that show,
oh yeah,
they're breaking up for real. It's not like
yes.
the
There's an
relationships are
outline, I
completely
think, more
fake.
than right.
Yeah.
When you're tuning into real television, which I also love, not real television, just like
Yeah.
scripted television, which I also love, you're immediately just yes anding it because you understand it's all scripted. But
Yeah.
like it's really interesting to me to see as humans as we still yes and reality television, still kind of knowing it might not, the producers might have brought them all to this location,
Yeah.
right? But it's
Yeah.
still like
It's
it's
curated,
yeah,
but
but like
it's
but not, I
but
don't
not
know.
all of it. Yeah.
Right.
Produce the scenes, not the people, is what Bravo says.
Yes, that's what produced the scenes.
So it's still fun to see real people. Okay.
Love this time.
Um
Let's move on, Heather. Yes, sorry.
yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, okay. So this week, so Mercury just entered Taurus yesterday. We're recording this on May 16th. On May 15th, Mercury entered Taurus. So now we have Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus, and the sun all in Taurus. Major fucking Taurus energy. Mercury in Taurus is way more like to the point, way more just like simple, um, but also a little bit more grounded than Aries, where we just blurt shit out and can be a little impulsive. So that's kind of nice. And yeah, we might be mentally thinking more about like how to simplify our lives with Mercury and Taurus. May 18th is supposed to be a very, very big lucky day astrologically. It's one of the days that astrologers are looking at as like one of the most beneficial days of the year, because the sun meets up with Jupiter and Taurus right next to each other, and at the same time Venus meets up with Uranus. So it's like a little spicy, but they're all like positive planets. But Uranus is kind of like, it can be surprises, it can be a little, it's Aquarius, so it's sudden like breakthroughs but also sudden like chaos sometimes. But still, it's supposed to be a big, exciting, expansive day. And then on the 20th, the sun enters Gemini. We're right around the corner from Gemini. And then May 23rd, full moon in Sagittarius. What day of the week is that? And at the same time, Venus will be next to Jupiter in Taurus. And Venus and Jupiter, it's like the planet of love with the planet of big luck and expansion. So, and at the same time, we're having the full moon in Sagittarius, which is also the sign of expansive, big horizons. So yeah, it's a fun full moon also, which is on the 23rd. That's a week from today, next Thursday.
And then the 26th, which
And
is
then
in
the
10 days.
26th is when Jupiter enters Gemini, which is like new chapter. So yeah, and that is that's not this Sunday, but next.
The post May 26th time. Wow. So again, it's like big transitions, big loadedness, but again, it feels so different now that we've been through Taurus. It's like,
or through Aries, you mean? Or through Taurus. Yeah,
Aries felt like we were getting,
Aries was like fucking eclipse,
we were like bareback.
shakeups, like
we were a bit
choppy
bareback.
is a good word.
We were on the surfboard, but without an ankle strap.
Yeah.
Now, not only do we have the ankle strap, now that we've been through like here I go. Now that we have like the ankle strap through Taurus, but also not only that, like the surfboard has like a snowboard, like where your feet can lock into. And like we're just a little more like we are stable on the board, baby. And like I think that's more what Aries felt like. It's like, it's not to say the ocean isn't still doing her thing, has her choppiness, has her ebbs and flows, but we really just had no attachment to that surfboard. And now I feel like I'm attached to the surfboard, bitch.
Right.
Bring on the waves.
Yes.
Like, this is kind of what this energy is giving a little more. The ocean never fucking stops. It's the ocean. But like our stableness in what we're writing in there. And before that, we were barely on a life raft.
Right?
Before that, we were like on a piece of wood. Now it's like, oh, we found a surfboard. Oh, it's missing a strap. And now we've found straps to it. I don't know. I'm just, me and my water analogies always. But
Now we're gonna
Yeah.
find the other surfers on the
Yes.
ocean.
And yeah, and now we're gonna have like a little fun with it.
Yeah, and
Instead of
Charlie's
just
new
kind of
hat
out here.
comes out. Sorry,
It's
I was
just
thinking
all
about that.
so energetically coming to a head.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's really interesting to hear the post May 26th. I know we still have an episode before then, but I'm very excited for the shift, so
Me
to
too.
speak.
Me too. I
The
feel it.
transitions aren't scary.
No,
They're new welcome
especially
beginnings.
right now with the energies of May. It's
Mhm.
it should feel expansive and
Yeah.
exciting.
Gorgeous. Heather, I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Truly. If
Hmm.
anything, the two of us are out here surfing.
Yeah.
We just need to find the others. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's never lonely and scary having you as a human
Aw.
being in my life. Listeners, we are all beyond blessed to have other Heather Cunningham in existence. I
We're
know that's
blessed
gonna
to
make
have you. Oh my
oh
goodness.
well, and I would agree with that as well.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Since we're being cunty, you've never been more right, Heather. No, we love you, listeners. Love you, Taurus season. Love you, Sabrina. And we'll see you right back here next Thursday, bitches. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye. Infinite abundance. Bye.
Bye.